GW12 deadline stream. How's everyone doing? Welcome into the chat. You can have a quick look at my team there. As you can see, I have made a transfer already. Gabriel is officially out of my team. But before we get things kicked off, let's do a little poll. Let's do a quick little poll and see who people are captaining this game week. So I'm going to say Haaland. I mean, does anyone own Salah? I'm going to go Saka. Let's say Bruno. Let's say Mateta. I think that's as many as I can do. Let's see who people are captaining. There we go, lads. But yeah, as you can see, I went for Konate in the end. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. It's all part of the grander scheme of my FPL transfers over the next few game weeks. Essentially, that 0.5 mil that I saved from going for Konate instead of Van Dijk, I think that'll come in very handy. Excuse me, guys. As you can see, I'm a bit sick. My voice is... I've been sick all week, but it won't stop me from doing these deadline streams. Honestly, one of the favourite parts of my week, doing these, answering all your guys' transfer dilemmas. So if you have any at all, pop them into the chat and I'll be sure to answer as many of them as I can. But yeah, quick little overview of my team this game week. I've got Raya in nets against Spurs at home, which obviously, you know, Arsenal have the highest clean sheet odds basically every game week, so happy enough to have him there. Munoz against Wolves, another one that I'm happy to have for sure. Konate against Forest at home. So yeah, I could have gone for Timber, Saliba, Van Dijk. Those are the other three options I was considering other than Konate. But I did want a Liverpool defender. I felt like because I already had a Arsenal defender in David Raya, I wanted to back against it slightly. Back against the Arsenal defence, just slightly over this run for now, you know, up until game week 16 when we get 5 free transfers. And my decision between Van Dijk and Konate, I was like, I could have gotten Van Dijk last night for 5.9 or get Konate for 5.4. So a 0.5 mil difference. And the thinking there was essentially, do I want to invest almost 6 million in the Liverpool defence? Now, the counter argument to that is Van Dijk is 100% worth the 0.5 mil over Konate. He's got better DEFCON. He actually doesn't have better expected goal involvement, but just watching the play, you can see that Van Dijk is the set piece threat between the two of them. So, more than happy to go for Konate because his DEFCON is decent. It's quite good, actually. He's only hit it one time less than Van Dijk. And yeah, I'm just happy enough to go for Konate here, you know, when it saves me 0.5 mil and it means I can upgrade the rest of my team next game week. I'm still just working with one free transfer at a time here, so pretty difficult. But let me get to the first question in the chat. Taz Rawudin says, "Hi bro, what's up?" Hello to you. Will Calafiori and Semenyo start? You know what? Let's have a quick look at Jump the Wave on Twitter. Jump the Wave. So, she has posted. So you asked about Calafiori and who was the other one? Semenyo. Yeah, I'm not sure about Semenyo, but I mean, hopefully they start. Let's have a quick look. So, it's Spurs, Newcastle, Man United, Man City, Liverpool. Okay, so Calafiori has a 71% chance of starting. It looks like the top 4 predictors for Calafiori have predicted him to start. It looks like he's going to start. 71% chance. That's fairly high. I'm not sure. Do they do Bournemouth? Do they do Bournemouth on this? It would be handy, but it doesn't look like they have the Bournemouth predicted starts. So unfortunately, I can't answer that question. But if I was guessing, I would say that both Calafiori and Semenyo start. You said, or -4 for Van Dijk and sell Calafiori. I'm stuck here, bro, because I'm using my bench boost. That's why. Okay, understood. You obviously want everyone playing, but I don't think in any circumstance taking a -4 to sell an Arsenal defender that could start is the right move. I don't think it's worth the -4. So I think you risk it for the bench boost. Don't. I always tell people, don't tear your team apart for the bench boost. I know it's. I know it's it's a great. It's a chip that we want to get the most from, but in terms of the value we get in comparison to, is it worth tearing our teams apart to figure out to get a good bench boost? In my opinion, it never is. So yeah, I would avoid that -4. Is my opinion. The next question, Mohammed says, fantasy Pressure League. We fantasize many things here, so Konate is a good deal. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So I like that Fantasy Pressure League. What pressure? Nikolai Miller says, to start Reece James or Voltamad? Thank you. I would be starting Reece James all day there. Jesus. I'd be starting Reece James all day. Against Burnley away? Yeah, I like it. I think Newcastle have been struggling to score lots of goals, this season anyways. So I don't mind I don't mind starting Reece James over Voltamada there. Obviously you're benching a penalty taker though. Is there anyone else in your team that you consider benching for Voltamada? I just feel like Reece James has to start. Like, there can't be other players in your team that get a start over Reece James in your defence. Like, there isn't many. They are second highest for the clean sheet odds this game week. Nihamike says, hey mate, hello to you. If you had to start one of Semenyo or Cherki this week, who would you start? Oh, 100% start Semenyo. Definitely start Semenyo. I think, West Ham at home, brilliant fixture. Look at their projected goals, Bournemouth. They're third for projected goals. Obviously, Man City are always going to score goals, but whether Cherki starts, whether he gets any goal involvements, those things are up for debate. Whereas Semenyo starting, yes, it's up for debate, but if he plays, I think he does something here. Honestly, Semenyo's a genuine captaincy shout this game week. Genuinely. If he wasn't yellow flagged, I probably would have captained him. I'm not even just saying that for clicks. I actually think I would have heavily considered it. Taz says, in bench you have O'Reilly, Senesi, Gakpo, Vicario. Is that okay at active bench boost with those players? Oh yeah, 100%. Really like it. Obviously Vicario against City away is City. Wait, no, Vicario plays Arsenal. Sorry. Yeah, Arsenal don't score many goals anyways. So no, I really like that bench boost. Really like it. Yeah, solid. I don't think you need the -4, so I think keep things how they are. Ravinda says, Saka or Mbumo for captain if you're going against Haaland? I think it's got to be Saka. Yeah. I just feel like he's a bit more... He's a bit more of a goal hog when it comes to Arsenal. Like, Mbumo obviously gets a lot of goal involvements for Man United, but Bruno is kind of who we expect to take penalties, to be involved with a lot of the goals. Whereas Saka is that guy for Arsenal. So I think Saka is the one. If you're going to go against Haaland this game week, yeah, don't mind Saka whatsoever. Nishal says, bench one out of Timber, Senesi, Munoz, Thiago and Ndai. You have Raya as a goalkeeper. So I wouldn't be benching Timber, Senesi, Munoz. And then who does Thiago play? They play Brighton away, and then Ndai, Everton play Man United. Honestly, it's between Thiago and Ndai. Unfortunately, those are two penalty takers as well. Yeah, I'd probably bench Ndai there, honestly. Psycho Bingo, is there even any point to risking a different captain than Haaland? Yeah, there definitely is, Psycho Bingo. There definitely is. This game week with, Man City playing Newcastle away. Newcastle's home, like their stadium is unbelievable. Like the atmosphere there, I feel like it's probably one of the hardest fixtures. It's probably the second hardest fixture in the league right now for attackers to go to. I would say Arsenal at home. Arsenal away actually is probably also second hardest. And then Newcastle away. Like that is top 3 hardest fixtures in the fixture schedule. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think if there was a game week to go against Haaland captain, Now is definitely one of them. Now is definitely one of them. I currently have it on Haaland. I'm tempted to go against it. I mean, I'm always tempted to go against it, but it's tough. Like, I could even go Bruno, lads. I could even go Bruno. I mean, it's tough. The thing is, like, you could look at Mateta captain is something that I'm interested in as well. The thing is, Wolves with their new manager, that's annoying me so much. I think I would have loved if Wolves didn't get a new manager. It would have made it so easy. I want to see who are people captaining on um, on Twitter. Let's have a quick look. Someone's going for Bowen. Phew, that's a big shout. Someone's doing Mateta triple captain. Yeah, a few Mateta captainers. Yeah, I see Semenyo there. I think it's a bold decision going for Semenyo, just based purely off, you know, the injury scare. The injury scare with Semenyo is what's doing it for me. But it's tough. Could just go for Bruno, lads. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm looking at Bruno captain for sure. For sure. What about you guys? Let's see how the poll is looking actually. 68% Haaland, only 3% for Bruno. Interesting. Very interesting. Nikolai, thanks for the answer. You have Senesi, Van Dijk, Munoz, Enzo, Saka, Ndai, Semenyo, Haaland, Mateta, Voltamata, Reece James, Mukiele, and King. Yeah, I mean, would you start? The way I'm looking at it is like, would you start Ndai or Voltamata? I think it's between them two. I think Reece James has to play in that team. Has to be. Absolutely. Like I think a four at the back is the way to go for you, mate. Absolutely. Hitesh says you've Leno, Anderson, Senesi, Van Dijk, Bruno and Bumo, Tavernier, Rice, Haaland, Mateta, and Thiago. Any thoughts? You're benching Donnarumma, Guehi, Cherky, and Digne. Wow, that's a team. That's a very unique team. Yeah, let me know how many transfers you have. You know, what are you working with in terms of your budget? Let me know, and I'll hopefully give you a better answer. But off the top of my head, the players, if you do have a few free transfers, the players I'd look to be getting rid of. I don't mind Leno as a backup keeper, although he is 4.5 and you have Donnarumma, so that's a lot of money invested in goalkeepers. So eventually I'd look to downgrade one of them at least. I like Anderson, Senesi, Van Dijk, Bruno and Bumo. Don't mind Tavernier, especially not this game week. Rice is good, Haaland, Mateta, Thiago. I mean, like, your team is solid. You do have quite a lot of money on the bench, is my only thing. So maybe you can look to downgrade some of the players and then upgrade the others. Mohammed says Raya, Van Dijk, Senesi, Van Heck, Gabriel, Van de Ven, Semenyo and Dijk, Caicedo, Enzo, Reinders, João Pedro, Mateta, and Haaland. You have 4 free transfers. Thinking about Saka for Semenyo, Gabriel to Munoz. Yeah, I quite like that, mate. Quite like that. Maybe even look at getting rid of Van de Ven as well, if you can find someone. I'm not sure what your budget would look like after that, but could look to get another Arsenal defender in, something like that. Ethan Young, play Senesi or Krupi? I'd play Senesi, I'd say. Oh, sorry, Senesi, Chalobah, or Krupi. Between the three of them, it's between Senesi and Chalobah for sure. Probably Chalobah. Looking at the clean sheet odds, Chelsea have the second highest compared to Bournemouth, who are down at 34%. So yeah, I'd go for Chalobah there. Dream Brother, hello mate. Sitting on 724. Funny week though, good luck. You're captaining Salah. Oh, I'm jealous of that. I do think Salah's the best captain this game week, so yeah, I would love to captain him if I had him in my team. It would be an easy decision. You said looking to ship out Caicedo, just can't find any valid options sub 6.3 mil. Minta is alright, but otherwise it's just jumping on another C-bit midfielder. Yeah, I feel like it's okay to hold on to Caicedo this game week, obviously with Burnley away, After that, my favorite sub 6.3, 6.5, whatever. My favorite is a DEFCON player. I think Elliot Anderson. I think everyone had him at the start of the season and then kind of got rid of him. But he's not hit. I think he's hit double digit DEFCON every single game week. Every single game week. So like, he is he is getting so many defensive contributions. So I think you're just going from Caicedo to Anderson, which I guess doesn't really make much sense. It's like, I'm not sure Caicedo is a definite sell right now either, when you think about it. I feel like he's consistently getting DEFCON. If you got him at a good price, then you're probably in a good place. Yeah, there's probably better places to make a transfer, but if you're flush with free transfers, then I don't mind it. Gichero says, good afternoon, watching from Kenya. Well, hello from London. Who would you captain this week between Saka, Mateta and Bruno Fernandes? I'd go for Saka there, I think. Between Saka and Bruno. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck there, but I'd probably go Saka. Kulindu says, start one from Xhaka, Caicedo, Strand Larson, Rodon. Okay, let's look through the projections here. So you have Xhaka is low down on the projected goals. Caicedo, against Burnley away. Strand Larson, low down. Rodon. Yeah, I'd go for Caicedo there. Go for Caicedo. Am I keeping João Pedro? I have him too, but don't have Saka. Oh yeah, I'm holding on to João Pedro. I do not mind having him in my team whatsoever. Against Burnley away, could captain him. Lads, should I just captain João Pedro for the crack? Dream Brother 2-2. Oh, sorry, I already answered that, mate. You own Elliot Anderson and never got rid. Stood by him. All right, you've got all the DEFCON mids. So yeah, you're sorted, mate. I can see why you'd want to get rid of Caicedo then. If you're going to hold on to Anderson, you already have one DEFCON player. I think 2 is a bit overkill. So yeah, in terms of valid options, sub 6.3 mil, I don't mind Minta. I actually don't mind him. But if I was doing it, I agree, I would probably do it this week with Brentford at home for Brighton. Yeah, don't mind that at all. If you've got the free transfers, then go for it. Richard says, sell Gabriel and Van de Ven for Senesi and Van Dijk. Yeah, I love that. That's 2 really good moves. Yeah, really like those, mate. Senesi and Van Dijk in for Gabriel and Van de Ven. Huge. Massive, yeah. And like Senesi is kind of, I guess he isn't a budget option anymore. I just think he's a great pick. Bit biased, he's in my team, but no, I like those moves. Zach McParland, hi, missed the start of the stream. Sorry if you've already answered. Can you explain why you've gone Kanate? Yeah, I guess now that we... Sorry, I've just read Dan's comment. I'll come back to you, Dan. Oh, God. Yeah, Zach, so I'll explain to everyone why I've not captained Kanate, why I've got Kanate in. So I had the choice to do... I had to get Gabriel out. I had a few choices. So my first route for transfers this game week, I only had one free transfer. So the idea was Gabriel to one of Van Dijk or Kanate, so a Liverpool defender, or the other option was Timber or Saliba, and then that was basically it. I already have Munoz, and I wasn't going to go outside of that. So yeah, it was a Liverpool defender or an Arsenal defender. My thinking between those two was that I have Raya in nets. Arsenal are the best defence. They are the best defence. But these fixtures for Liverpool just opened up a way for me to get a Liverpool player in. And my thinking is that because we get those 5 free transfers in game week 16, and the run for Arsenal up until then isn't the easiest. I still think they probably get as many clean sheets as Liverpool. But those 4 fixtures for Liverpool, the next 4 fixtures, are absolutely nuts. So I said, if they're going to get clean sheets, it's got to be now. My other thinking with Van Dijk versus Konate was a few things. So first of all, Van Dijk is a better pick. He is, at the time when I bought him, he was 0.5 mil more, and I think he's worth every single cent of that 0.5 mil more over Konate. But I kind of was looking at my transfer plans going forward, and I'm going to need that 0.5 mil. And I don't think it's too much of a downgrade, really. When I look at it, I'm like, okay, Konate, he's not as good for DEFCON, but he's only hit it 1 time less than Van Dijk this season. He's actually got higher expected goal involvement than Van Dijk. that's not me saying I think Konate is a better set piece threat than Van Dijk. I think if anyone scores over this fixture run, it's going to be Van Dijk, not Konate. But yeah, I also had this thought where I was like, do I want to invest like 6 million into Liverpool defense? I think Konate is like kind of reducing that risk, so I'm not investing a huge part of my budget into Liverpool defense. It's only 5.4 mil, which is still a premium defender, but it's sort of copium for me. And then I need that I need that point 0.5 mil for my transfers going forward. So that hopefully that answers the question. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. The other thing is like I'm my rank is shite. Like I'm 2.5 or 6 mil right now. So if everyone's going Van Dijk and Konate is only slightly worse, it's a bit of a differential play just to see, oh, maybe Konate gets the goal or the assist and gets DEFCON, something like that. So I'm just kind of, that's how I'm playing the game. So hopefully that answers your question, Zach. But yeah, I still think Van Dijk's a better pick. Daniel George says, Pope or Dubravka? I would be starting, I would never play Dubravka against Chelsea. It's got to be Pope. It's got to be Pope. Aidan Wellens, hi Gallagher, when are you planning to play your free hit? Oh mate, I've not planned my free hit whatsoever. And like FPL Harry was talking to me about it because we do the fantasy football scout stream every Wednesday. If you guys want to watch that, it's 12 p.m. UK time every single Wednesday. Me, FPL Harry, and Tom from Fantasy Football Scout. And he, like FPL Harry was talking about his free hit and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, I should probably start planning that. But I'm such a believer that without the double game weeks and all this stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it when I do it. Like if I get to a game week where over Christmas, like everything kind of goes to shit and I have 5 injuries or I have 3-4 injuries and I just need to, and like a few of my big players are playing against each other and I'm missing like a key captain like Salah or someone that I don't have and I really want them. That's when I'm gonna do my free hit. I'm not trying to overthink it. And if it comes to whatever game week 19 when we get a refresh and I still haven't used it, I'll just pop it then, mate. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. But I know Harry is using it next game week 13. He said a lot of his players are playing against each other, and that's definitely a good reason to use it. But I don't have the same issue. So here we go. Dan Burnett. I was waiting for this comment. My favorite content creator who laughs when I guess Captain and Sanchez. Yeah, Dan, sorry about that, mate. I knew you'd be in here at some point and I'd have to face it, but yeah. that was bad out by me. I started laughing at you and then Sanchez goes ahead and outscores my captain Haaland. So, I mean, that was a big brain move. Honestly, that was a big brain move. So I can only congratulate you there and apologies for laughing at you for that. Sorry. You're a good lad, Dan. You're a good lad. Zachy Bacon, can we do a mini prayer to the FPL gods and other footballing gods for the Arsenal to beat the Spurs twats 7-0? We'll see. We'll see about that. I mean, I don't have any Arsenal players except for Raya, so I definitely don't want Spurs to score, but I definitely don't want Arsenal to score 7 goals, considering I won't have any of them. So yeah. Okay, Rupesh, Voltemata or Anderson? Whom to start? Whom? I'd actually start Anderson at Fulham. Again, yeah, no. Would I do that? No. No, I'd start the penalty taker. Don't know what I'm talking about. It's a close one, but yeah, Voltemata. He's on penalties. And he's at home. Yeah, go for Voltemata. Andrew Barton, quick questions. You still have your free hit and wildcard. Using free hit 13, but when should I play my wildcard? Maybe just before AFCON. Yeah. I think that's the play. I think if you still have your wild card, now just use it right before AFCON, get a nice little team going, no AFCON players, and then you'll have 5 free transfers plus no AFCON players. Like, you'll be so much better sorted than everyone else. I think that's the play. I think that is the play. But yeah, free hit 13 is very popular as well. Parse says, hey mate, Bowen to Thiago or Welbeck? You're not free hitting in game week 13. Bowen to Thiago or Welbeck? I think Thiago is probably the play there. I think Thiago is probably the play. Obviously, Welbeck has the home fixture this game week. But over the long term, I think it's probably Thiago. You're not free hitting in 13, though. And Thiago plays Arsenal. Or does he? Who does Thiago play in the game week 13? Someone bad, I believe. But yeah. I still think it's Thiago over the long term. Zaki, you said you basically have the same team as me, but Reece James and Caicedo instead of Konate and Enzo. Okay, hoping for lots of DEFCON points to carry me right now. Yeah, fair enough. You have 2.3 mil in the bank. I don't like it, but other than Bruno to Saka, no one is good enough upgrade. Yeah, so if you have the same team as me and you, except for Reece James and Caicedo in place of Konate and Enzo, I mean, I actually would say is Konate and Enzo slightly better maybe. I do really like Reece James as a pick, so I'm kind of jealous you have him. But yeah, I think yeah. Other than that, if you have the same team as me, like the obvious upgrades. If looking at my team, like the players I want to change right now are Josh King, Reinders, Chow on the bench. Like those three players have to get out of my team. And my transfer next week is Reinders out, and he just dropped in price as well. I was like, for fuck's sake, of course he did. But what can I expect there? Everyone has to like Reinders is a sell, but he plays Leeds next week, and well, I say he plays Leeds next week. We don't know if he even starts or gets any minutes, which is obviously quite frustrating. But yeah, Reinders has to go, mate. That's the upgrade I'm looking to do. Forum, Four says one free transfer. Who to transfer out? Semenyo or Gabriel? I have Welbeck, Mateta, Haaland, and Bumo, Sar, Enzo, Semenyo, 4.4 mid, Munoz, Gabriel, Timber, Cucurella, and a 3.8 dead spot. Semenyo is not a transfer out, lads. Semenyo is gonna play this game week. If he doesn't start, he'll get some minutes, I believe. Like this injury that he got, he literally ran off the pitch. Like I don't know if you've seen the video, but he literally runs off the pitch. So like I don't think Semenyo is a sell. I genuinely think if he didn't have a yellow flag, I would probably consider captaining this game week. I actually would. So yeah, I would sell Gabriel there between him and Semenyo. Lorcan says bench Semenyo for Thiago or too risky. Ooh, I think Semenyo's a better start. I think I would start Semenyo, but yeah, it's tough to bench Thiago. Is there any other way you can get Thiago into your team? Wani says, hi, I'm captain in Minta. Thoughts? I think you're mental, but yeah, obviously Brighton are high up on the projected goals, even higher than Man City and Haaland, so there you go. Well, actually, Haaland probably has way higher projected goals than, well, basically anyone, but definitely Minta. So you are risking that, but I don't mind it. FPL is all about having a bit of fun sometimes, so if you like it, go for it. I do think there's so many good captaincy shouts this game week besides Haaland, and I don't think Minta is one of them. Red Monkey, hi Gallagher, start Henderson or Raya. Oh, I'd start Raya. Yeah, best defense in the league. Don't think Spurs really get a goal here. Robbie says start two: Senesi, Richards, Enzo. Okay, Senesi, Enzo. Oh, but Richards against Wolves away. I do think it's Senesi and Enzo though, because for me Enzo has to start against Burnley away, and then between Senesi and Richards. I mean, to be fair, Senesi actually has 1% lower clean sheet odds, but I think between Senesi and Richards, the DEFCON is just such a huge point in Senesi's favour, so it's got to be Senesi there. FPL Stan, will James start? That's a good question. Let me have a quick look at the projections for who's going to start, and apparently he has a 50-50 chance of starting. So that's a bit of a risk. It is a bit of a risk with Reece James. I didn't realise he was that low down the odds to start. So I don't know. I'd love to tell you, but yeah, Reece James, 50-50 apparently. Okay. Liverpool FC Mon says, Mr. Gallagher, hope all is well. Thank you very much. Hope all is well with you too. You say, who would you bench from Van Dijk, Senesi, Richards, Calafiori, Reece James, Saka, Caicedo, or Sarr? So if I had to bench one player out of all of them, it would be Richards. I'd probably bench Richards there, because you're obviously starting Van Dijk, Senesi, Calafiori, Reece James, Saka. I mean, Saka, like, it should not be in this discussion, nor should Sarr be. Caicedo, between Caicedo and Richards, I'd bench Richards. Zach Howard, I answered that already, mate. 4 says, thinking of Semenyo to Szoboszlai. Yeah, I don't think Semenyo's a sell, lads. I think we can hold on to Semenyo. Anachronism says, should I transfer in Sarr for Ndiaye? I actually quite like that, but just be aware, Sarr does go to AFCON. Um, but I do think he's a better pick before AFCON, up until AFCON, I should say. Payne says, "Hello Gallagher. I have a wild card and I'm pretty hesitant on what my team will be. Can you help?" Yeah, I think I'd probably go for something like what I have, but I wouldn't have. I'd have like maybe Cunha or Bumo instead of Bruno. I'd obviously not have Reinders, King. I'd have my forward line except for Thiago instead of João Pedro. Enzo wouldn't be in my team either. I'd probably have a cheeky Liverpool punt like Soboslai or Gakpo just to risk it a little bit. Richard says, thoughts on Gakpo as an option? I can't. Okay, so yeah, I just mentioned Gakpo. I think he's a good option. He said find a reason to sell Gakpo. I don't think Gakpo's a sell. I think if you have him in your team, you just ride it. You just ride the wave and hope that he kind of does something, because he's a risky pick. He's a differential, but he plays for the team with the best upcoming fixtures, and they're a solid attack. So yeah, I don't mind having Gakpo, and honestly, he could be a buy in the short term. Seeing as we have all those transfers coming up in Game Week 16, I think Gakpo is a cheeky punt that I don't mind at all with these nice fixtures coming up. KBL J8, any ideas on the best Brentford defender? Mate, no such thing. I'm sorry. Yeah, Brentford defence is not it. Zach McParland, Rangers to who next week? I genuinely need him out, but not sure who to pivot, lol. So I think the best like for like in terms of price, Rangers to Anderson at Forest is definitely the play. If you want to upgrade, I think someone like Soboslai, Minta, yeah, other than that, it's very slim pickings. But I think the like for like in terms of price is Anderson at Forest, and Zach Harrod, same goes for you as well. Rangers to Anderson is probably the play. So Hale, welcome into the chat. Good to have you, man. I'm not sure which three to start out of Timber, Ndai, Enzo, and João Pedro. What would you do? So who would I bench out of those four? So you have Timber, Ndai, Enzo, and João Pedro. I feel like Enzo and João Pedro absolutely have to play against Burnley away. So then between Timber and Ndai, obviously Timber with the Spurs game, highest clean sheet odds. Ndai is on penalties. He plays against Man United away though. Would I bench Ndai there? I quite fancy Timber against Spurs. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'd bench Ndai, mate. Who are you thinking right now? All right, you say your team here: Raya, Timber, Senesi, Anderson, Van Dijk, Enzo, Bruno, and Bumo, João Pedro, Mateta, Haaland, with Ndai, Mukiela, and Stack on the bench. Would you change anything? I still have one free transfer. Yeah, I would do the. I guess we agree then. Ndai is the one to bench there. So yeah, good to hear that that we're on the same page. And in terms of other transfers, let me read it again: Raya, Timber, Senesi, Anderson, Van Dijk, Enzo, Bruno, and Bumo, João Pedro, Mateta, Haaland. Nah, mate, honestly, I think your team looks solid. I think next game week, look to do a transfer, but this game week, you're sorted. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely sorted. And like Ndai first on your bench in case, like, someone doesn't play. Don't mind it at all. Lads, we do have a super chat, so I'm going to go straight to that from Sir. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. I'll answer your question straight away. Hello, have a good weekend. You too, man. My last minute Mateta captain was horrible last game week. Fortunately, I had Keane with 15 points, so I only lost 20k rank. Yeah, 20k rank is nothing to be too upset about, but yeah, that Keane that Keane 15 pointer came out of nowhere, and if anyone has him, fair play. Obviously, you all got very lucky, but that's what FPL is about. It's all about getting lucky and picking the players that get you that. So yeah, fair play. Keane with 15 points. I'm extremely jealous, to say the very least. But yeah, maybe you can just keep the armband on Mateta this game week, sir. And yeah, just ride the wave with Mateta captain. I don't think it was a bad choice last game week. Like, I transferred in Mateta last game week. I remember in the chat you literally said last game week, you were like, oh yeah, just did a last minute captaincy on Mateta. And I was like, honestly, that could work out in your favour. So I don't mind at all. And yeah, I think Mateta could be a low-key shout this game week. Alex Escobedo says, good morning. Good morning to you too, Alex. What to do if I have Calafiori and Reece James? Already bought Van Dijk and can't afford Saka unless I sell. Okay, so unless I sell Semenyo. So I don't think Saka is worth it if you're selling Semenyo. I think Semenyo is a hold. If you have Calafiori and Reece James, in terms of who to start, I'd probably start Reece James there. Oh, would I? What's Calafiori? So Calafiori has like a 70% chance of starting. Reece James has like a 50% chance. So maybe based off that, I'd start Calafiori. Yeah, I think I'm changing my mind. I'm going to say Calafiori, but benching Reece James is crazy. What's the rest of your defense looking like? Or, yeah, let me know because if you're benching Reece James, that's a tough one. Raid says, hello, mate. Bench 1, Semenyo, Voltamada, Ndai, Thiago. Between those, I'd definitely start Semenyo. And then all 4 penalty takers, by the way. Semenyo, Voltamada, Ndai, and Thiago. I would probably bench Ndai out of those. Start Semenyo, Voltamada, Thiago. Anachronism, like the video, everyone. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, like the video. I'm actually sick, so I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm actually quite sick, as you can probably hear it in my voice, so sorry if that's annoying, but yeah, like the video if you guys are enjoying. That obviously helps me with my channel and whatnot. I'm only doing this for fun, so this obviously isn't my full-time job. So if you guys want to like the video and help support the channel, then I'll obviously really appreciate that. Blake Williamson says, should I stick with Minta or upgrade to someone like Gakpo? I think stick with Minta. I don't know if that's worth the transfer, especially not this game week when Brighton play Brentford at home. As you can see, Brighton are very high on the projected goals, so hopefully Minta will be involved in one of them for you. Harry Butt says, did Gabriel, Caicedo and Semenyo to Van Dijk, Sarr and Cunha? Risk the Semenyo to Cunha. I don't mind it at all. If that was for free, I don't mind those transfers whatsoever. Yeah, I don't mind it. Payne says, I did my team, Petrovic, O'Reilly, Timber, Senesi, Richards, Sarr, Semenyo and Bumo, Salah, Gravenberch, Haaland. That's my wildcard. Any tips or immediate changes? I actually really like it. Salah and Haaland is a cheeky little differential. Having both of them is quite rare to see these days. What I would say is Gravenberch, I'm not sure about him. You know, I think he's a great player, but I just don't know if he's a great FPL player. I'm not even sure what price he is right now. How expensive is Gravenberch? 5.6. What I would suggest is maybe go for someone like Elliot Anderson instead. I quite like him as a pick. It frees up some budget, and I do think he's actually a slightly better pick in terms of DEFCON, which is what we're going for with that spot. Anachronism says Raya, Dubravka, Van Dijk, Senesi, Munoz, Mukiele, Goodmanson, Saka, Mbumo, Ndai, Semenyo, Stack, Thiago, Mateta, Haaland. One free transfer. Thinking of Ndai to Sarr. Both as AFCON confused to do that. Can you help me think about the future moves until Game Week 17? Interesting. So I think, yeah, Ndai to Sarr I do think is actually a good move. And I know people are thinking about AFCON and both of them go anyways, so it's one of those ones. But yeah, I think Sarr up until AFCON gets more FPL points than Ndai. And then you get the AFCON free transfers, which is what they're there for. You know, like I wouldn't be too worried about getting in a AFCON player in this game week. Next game week, maybe slightly different, but this game week, I think it's okay because we're getting the 5 free transfers anyways, and that's what they're there for. So yeah, I quite like the Ndai to Sarr move. Honestly, I do like it. Dan Burnett, welcome to the gold member. Wow, okay, yeah. Thanks for joining the gold membership, Dan. Even after I've slagged you off and made fun of your Sanchez captaincy, which obviously came to bite me in the ass. But yeah, welcome to the gold membership crew. Means you get all my videos earlier than everyone else and priority reply on all the comments, which, you know, you guys don't have to do it, but if you want to, obviously supports the channel, so really appreciate it. You say, I think I need a slice of United midfield with the upcoming fixtures. Should I go on Bumo or Bruno? I can afford either. I still think Bruno is the slightly better pick just because of penalties. I know his positioning isn't as advanced, but I think with Sesko out, Cunha going up top, I think Amram really likes Bruno in that 8, but I can see him moving forward if, you know, something changes in the game and they want to bring in another defensive midfielder. They could bring in Kobe Mainu and then Bruno gets more advanced. I still think he's the slightly better pick than Mbumo, so I'd lean towards him. Sohail Legend, thanks, mate. No problem at all, mate. Good to have you in the chat. Ifra says, 4 free transfers: Ndai to Mbumo, Gabriel to Van Dijk, Manmaradishvili to Sanchez, Votamata to Thiago. Advices. I quite like it. I'm not sure if the Votamata to Thiago move was yeah, I guess they play City this game week. No, I do like it. Ndai to Mbumo, that's an upgrade. Gabriel to Van Dijk, upgrade. Manmaradishvili to Sanchez, it's an upgrade because he's not going to play, Manmaradishvili. And then Votamata to Thiago. Yeah, I like it, man. Really do. Aidan Wellens says, Gallagher, who should I captain? Saka, Haaland or Mateta? I quite like Saka there, honestly. I quite like Saka. Let me just set a quick timer, lads, because we've only got 20 minutes up until the deadline. So I'm going to do a quick little timer in 10 minutes. Right. And then everyone should make their last moves. Okay, the Lazzy says, I'm in kind of the same position as you. I should free up funds to get Bruno. So I'm thinking Konate instead of Van Dijk. What do you suggest? Konate over Van Dijk. Yeah, I quite like it. I mean, if you need the funds, I think it's fine. You know, I think Konate is a fine pick. I did my justification for it already, but I basically think that it's okay because I'm not sure I want to invest, 6 mil in the Liverpool defence right now anyways. So I'm happy enough to go for Konate and save a bit of budget to make some moves in the future. Edvin says, hi mate, play Xhaka or Voltemada? I'd go for Voltemada there, penalty taker. Jay Moa says, 4 free transfers. I've already done Gabriel to Van Dijk. Thoughts on Reece James, Pope and Voltemada to Munoz, Pope and Thiago? So you still have Pope. So it's Reece James and Voltemada to Munoz and Thiago. Munoz and Thiago, definitely. Yeah, Munoz and Thiago, I would say. Harry Widdop, thoughts on captain Bruno over Haaland or too much of a risk? Honestly, Harry, I am considering it heavily. Let's see how the poll is looking, by the way. Haaland 64%, Saka 16%, Mateta 17%, Bruno 3%. So Bruno is not a popular pick, lads. I don't mind him this game week. I really don't. I'm gonna have a quick look at the odds for the captaincy odds. Let's go on Rob T's page really quickly. But yeah, Bruno, I don't mind at all. I also don't mind Semenyo still. But if I had Salah or Saka, I'd probably go for one of them over Haaland. But it's so hard to go against Haaland any day of the week. So yeah, that's obviously never going to be an easy decision to make. In terms of projected FPL points, Salah is top, followed by Saka, followed by Bruno, and then Haaland. Then Cunha, Gakpo and Mbumo, Semenyo, then Sarr. Sarr is ahead of Mateta, apparently. So that's quite interesting. Senesi's actually higher than Mateta. That's crazy. They don't back Mateta here. Yeah, interesting to see. I wonder who else, everyone else is captain. Let's have a quick look and see what people are going for. Okay, people are going for Senesi captain. Someone's going for, that's madness. Fair play to whoever that is. Semenyo captain. Yeah, it's tough. Saka, Mateta, who to go for? It's probably just safe. Just go for Haaland. But yeah, I don't know. I quite like Mateta captain. Honestly, the thing is, Wolves have that new manager, so I'm like, do I just go for Haaland, play it safe? Captain Haaland is probably the play. But I am tempted about Bruno. Yeah. I also think Enzo or João Pedro could be a cheeky one. There is so many players you could go for instead of Haaland this game week, like honestly. Yeah, it's tough, lads. It's tough. Let's see what all of our favorite content creators are, who their favorite content creators are captaining.
Sure.
So I have to watch these ads first. Okay, let's skip those. It looks like FPL Raptor is captaining Haaland. Who's Andy captaining? Saka, fair play. FPL Harry, who you going for, mate? Haaland as well. FPL Focal, who are you captain? Also Haaland. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's going for Haaland. Yeah, another one for Haaland. FPL mate, who's he going for? Saka. So yeah, so far I've only seen Saka and Haaland. Um, yeah, if I had Saka, I'd be very tempted by him as well. But yeah, I think it's tough going against Haaland any day of the week, isn't it? It really is. It really is. But yeah, there you go. There's all the other FPL streamers. Let me get back to your questions, guys. Sir says, I'm not sure who to start. Gvardiol, Keane, or Alderete? Excuse me. I think Gvardiol is a cool differential. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind Gvardiol there. I just feel like Newcastle away is such a hard fixture. I said this already, but so difficult to play against Newcastle in their home stadium. Really tough. Really tough. So, yeah, between Keane or Alderete, who's got the highest clean sheet odds there? So, you've got Everton down the bottom, Sunderland are ahead of them, and Man City are ahead of them. Yeah, I think you go for Gvardiol, mate. I think go for Gvardiol, sir, over Keane and Alderete. I like it. Bit of a differential, so don't mind it at all. So, Hale, what move are you doing, you say? I've actually done my move already, mate. I've gone for Gabriel to Konate. Had to do it last night with the price changes. So, yeah, I've gone for Konate. And the reason is, I've mentioned it already, but I just need the extra funds. I could have gone for Van Dijk, but yeah, I didn't want to invest too much in Liverpool defence. And Konate is a nice little way to justify that. And yeah, I'm just hoping that Konate gets a few more chances than Van Dijk, and he saves me a bit of cash, which is what it's about at the end of the day. I've got some other moves coming up, so that's what I've gone for there. That is what I've gone for. Any Semenyo news? Unfortunately not. Andrew Barton, lots of bugs about it. My kids have chicken pox. On a brighter note, Sheffield Derby tomorrow. I'm a Blue, we're all but down already. But we're about to become a very rich club, so onwards and upwards. Yeah, you guys are about to inherit a good sum of cash, so hopefully that can turn things around for you guys. Lewis Bamford, Captain Haaland or Mbumo? I'd say Haaland there. Is Semenyo injured? Apparently not. We'll see. We really don't know. Liam Sherwood, start Estevao or Calafiori? Oh, I'd go for... Does Estevao start? Does he start? I'd probably be more confident Calafiori starts. So yeah, Calafiori. Con Clasher, like the stream chat. Like up the stream chat. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Zach Howard, if Rangers starts this week, would you keep him for the Leeds game and save the transfer, or you get rid no matter what? Yeah, it's a good point. I feel like if he starts this game week, or even is next game week, I believe that Man City have the early kickoff. Is that true? No, that is not true. Let me just make sure that if whether that is true or not. So yeah, round next game week. Yes, they are. They're the 3 o'clock kickoff. There's no. I mean, that is the earliest kickoff next game week. So I will hopefully get a leak about whether Rangers is starting or not. If I don't, I'd be tempted to sell him. Even though it's Leeds, yeah, I'd be tempted to sell Rangers and make a move. I'm thinking of selling him anyways. So yeah, it's a tough one, but that's it. That's how I'm playing the game. T Rebel, should I take a chance in Captain Mateta over Haaland? I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. Sammy's on the same boat. Morning Gallagher, morning to you. Debating about Captain Mateta over Haaland as a differential. How much do you think it'll bite me in the ass? Oh, I don't know. I think it's worth it, lads. I could honestly go for it myself. I've got the vice captain on João Pedro. That's tempting me as well. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. That is very, very tempting to me. Let's have a quick look at the... I want to see where João Pedro and like Enzo rank on the FPL points here. Enzo is higher than João Pedro according to the predicted points from Rob T, which is surprising, but I guess he's on the penalties. Yeah, probably not. João Pedro is not that guy. For me, it's between Mateta and Bruno to go against Haaland. Yeah, it is. Should I go against Haaland? What do you guys think? Let's see how the chat is. What's the poll saying? Still 62% Haaland. 17 Saka, 16 Mateta, 5% Bruno. Yeah, not looking good for Bruno. But honestly, someone just said bench Enzo or Pedro. Mate, neither. Start both. I find a way to start them in your team, honestly. They play the worst defense in the league. So yeah, that can't be a hard decision. Let me know the rest of your team. Maybe it is a hard decision. By the way, that alarm is 10 minutes to go on the deadline. So if you haven't made your moves yet, really start to consider them. I'm going to try answer as many of them as I can. Really quickly, I'm checking out the predicted lineups for Chelsea. João Pedro is 94%. So someone predicts he won't start, but alas, still think he's a good pick. And Enzo is 88%. So 2 people have said he might not play. So we'll see about that. We will see about that. But yeah, let's go back to the chat and try answer all your questions. Zach Howard, everyone including myself is only asking FPL advice, yet no one's asked how are you doing. Decent week, mate. I'm glad you asked. I've had a shocking week. As you can tell, I'm sick, but I've been sick basically all week. I went into the office because obviously I work a full-time job, as you guys know. I went into the office on Tuesday and people were like, mate, just go home, because I was coughing, I was getting sick. So yeah, thanks for asking, mate, but I've had a pretty tough week. So this is my solace from the terrible week I've had. So yeah, glad to have you guys ask me all these FPL questions, but good to know someone's looking out for me as well. Okay. Someone says, Mumnot says, hello, who should I bench? Thiago, Semenyo, Saka, Enzo, Minta, and Saka again. Well, I wouldn't bench either of those Sakas. I wouldn't bench Semenyo, Enzo. Between Minta and Thiago, I'd probably bench Thiago. Nah, Minta. I'd bench Minta and start Thiago, the penalty taker. Mookie says, bench Minta, Soboslai, or Senesi. Minta, probably. Over Soboslai? Yeah, I probably would. Seb R9, you've done Gabriel to Richards and Paquetá to Bruno Fernandes. Have a front 7 of Semenyo, Saka, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Haaland, João Pedro, Mateta. Thoughts? Bruno, my vice, haven't got the courage to go against Haaland. Yeah, I don't know if I actually have the balls to do it either. So yeah, let me just very quickly, let me just set my vice captaincy, because it would be an absolute mare if Haaland didn't actually play. So vice captain on Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, there we go. Zach Howard, let's hope for 90 plus points return to end the shit week. Yeah, agreed. Oh, lads. I'm so tempted with 8 minutes to go to change my captaincy from Haaland. Like, he's on an absolute tear, but what are the projected goals looking like? Rob T says, who has the highest projected goals? It's always going to be Haaland, isn't it? Yeah, by far. Yeah, it's interesting, huh? It's interesting. Let's see the wild card, the Solio picks. So, oh, Haaland's not even in it. Yeah, I mean, Bruno is so tempting for me right now. And so is Mateta, but honestly, maybe I should just pack it in with that whole chat. I mean, like, there's so many good captaincy options. It's really difficult to predict who's it going to be. Enzo, Semenyo, Bruno, João Pedro, Mateta, Haaland. You could captain any of these players and I would not say anything. You could literally captain any of them. And then there's Saka as well. You know? Senesi. I see people captaining Senesi out of nowhere. Munoz. Like, there's so many good fixtures. This is going to be a high-scoring game week. All things going well. But yeah, it's tough, lads. It's tough. Let me end the poll and we'll start a new one. So Haaland has won by far. And let me throw in another poll. Start a poll. Captain. I'll say best captain. Not Haaland. Okay, so I'm gonna go Saka, Bruno. I'll say Mateta. Saka, Bruno, Mateta, and I'll leave it there. Yeah, I was thinking of adding in Enzo or João Pedro, but lads, there's the poll. Go vote for it real quick. We have 5 minutes to go, and we'll see what everyone goes for. Should be interesting. Should be an interesting one. Okay. Sergeant Slash Bash says, am I mad to roll without selling Gabriel and Semenyo? 4 free transfers, starting Anderson and Ndai. I mean, if your team looks fine, you don't need to. But if you've got 4 free transfers, I wouldn't be selling Semenyo, by the way. I know a lot of people are looking at that flag and are worried, but I wouldn't be selling him. Gabriel is a player you should sell. In the long term, he's got to go. So if you got free transfers, then I would sell. I think you are mad. I think I would sell Gabriel for, one of Timber, Saliba, Konate, Van Dijk, or Munoz. Those are my replacements. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Angelo Pin, can you please arrange Porro, Giu, Esteve on a bench? Probably in that order. Porro, Giu, Esteve. Maybe Esteve ahead of Giu, but they're not going to get a clean sheet anyways. So yeah. Damien Bell says, trying to play the bench boost, Digne or Van Heck? I would go for Van Heck there. Yeah, probably. Hi, is Ndai to Bruno for a -4 worth it? I wouldn't say it's worth the -4, mate. I wouldn't say it's worth the -4. Ndai to Saka worth a -4, Dope says. I mean, that's a tough one. I think that's tougher, but yeah, I'm not sure those are worth the -4, lads. Because I still think Ndai, with the penalties, like, taking a -4 to get out a penalty taker is tough. Someone says, Andrew Barton says, past record Haaland has struggled against Newcastle. Meanwhile, the hype of a new manager doesn't lie with me. Wolves have been awful. Let's go Mateta. Should I just go for Mateta, lads? Should I just go for Mateta against Wolves? I mean, how many players? All right, LFC Cola says, who would you play, Anderson or Reynildo? Anderson there, I would play. Yeah, I would play Anderson. Someone says Mateta has a injury issue. Let's have a quick look at the news surrounding that. Yeah, let's have a quick look. So, Mateta injury. I'm not seeing anything about it. Mateta came back with a minor knee issue from playing with France, but trained today with no issues, so he's also fit. So all good news. Captain Mateta. I mean, obviously Wolves are awful. They've got the new manager bounce, etc., etc. But should I just go for 3 minutes to go? Am I gonna go for Mateta? I really don't mind the Mateta captaincy, lads. I'm so tempted by it. What are people saying in the chat? Saka 50%, Bruno 19%, Mateta 31%. Yeah, I mean, I want to have one last quick look at all the odds from Rob T, because he is the oracle in terms. And Mateta's not looking good on the projected points. There's a lot of players ranking a lot higher than him in the projected points, but Man City are just flying at the moment. They really are just flying, and it's like, do I want to risk going against Haaland? It's very tough, very tough. But yeah, Mateta's still got high projected goals. I think it's in terms of win odds. What are the odds looking like for Crystal Palace? It's actually not that high for Crystal Palace against Wolves. With the new manager, I think they could bounce back. The new manager bounce is not to be trifled with. Yeah, it's a tough one. Let me search if anyone's looking at Mateta captain. I mean, it's a tough one, but I might just captain Mateta. Should I do it? I mean, FPL is about having a bit of fun at the end of the day, isn't it? It is about having a bit of fun. I've done it. Oh God, yeah, we've gone for it, lads. Let me get a quick screenshot of that so you can believe that I'm actually not trolling yous. But yeah, 1 minute to go on the deadline, lads. So lock those teams in if you haven't already. lock them in. Get that locked in, lads. Mateta captain. Here we go. Here we go. Confirmed. Let me throw that up onto this as well. But yeah, lads, it is confirmed. Wait, where is that pick? Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place here. Let me get my my thing back. There we are. So yeah, I've done a bad thing, but let me just make this this thumbnail real quick for you guys, and I will get back to the. Oi, oi, oi. All right, deadline is over. Deadline is well and truly over. So let me just put this back on full screen so you guys don't have to look at me editing this picture. I really should get better at this stuff, lads. But I'm an absolute hopeless case. Backward. So I've done a bad thing. I've done a very bad thing. But listen, FPL is all about having a bit of crack at the end of the day, and Mateta against Wolves. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst. Let's download this and I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. I haven't read the chat yet. I want to see what you guys say when I put this up on my screen. I'm sure you will laugh at me and whatnot, but listen, we're having a bit of crack. That's what FPL is all about. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. There is my locked-in team. Mateta is the captain. Let's go, boys. Come on, lads. Oh, God. Yeah, I did that with seconds to spare. Yeah, that was absolutely mental, but yeah, we've gone last minute captain on Mateta against Wolves away. He's just that guy. And listen, I'm ranked 2.5 or 6 mil. I need to do something. I need to do something. Andrew says, blame me if it goes wrong. It often does. Yeah, mate. Okay, yeah, lads, if this goes wrong, blame it on Andrew. It's not me. Dan Burnett, cheers, Gallagher. See you next week, mate. Yeah, you too, lad. You too. Sohail, you said you captain Bruno. Okay. See, I was looking at Bruno as well. But yeah, I've gone for Mateta in the end. This whole new manager bounce with Wolves, hopefully it's a load of shite. But yeah, high risk, high rewards. That's what I'm talking about, T-Rebel. This is what we want, lads. So yeah, to end the poll, I mean, Saka was by far the winner, followed by Mateta at 33%, and then Bruno was lower down. I do think Bruno is a good shout this game week. So let's hope that the minor injury issue for Mateta is. Let's hope that Glasner was was telling the truth. Let's hope he was telling the truth for that. So yeah, that is a last minute decision. But cheers anyways, lads. Good to have yous in, and yeah, that was a mental one, but really glad I made that decision. I hope it works out for me. I wonder if it will, but we'll be watching the Burnley-Chelsea match very closely, and then obviously Wolves play Palace at 3 o'clock here, and then it goes Liverpool at sorry, I'm talking shite. Newcastle play City after the Palace game, so I'll know already how that Palace game has gone for me, and then we'll go from there, and hopefully I won't have to sit behind the couch watching the Newcastle City game. Rayhan says, would you take -4 to get enough players for bench boost? I have no chips used yet, lol. Yeah, I don't like taking -4s for bench boosts. T-Rebel, I'm ranked 850k. Hopefully I can rank up with Mateta. Rayhan, oh, you missed the deadline, bro. Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. Because I thought when I read that, I was like, did he miss the deadline? But yeah, unfortunately you did. You did. Hopefully your team looks all right, though. Let me know who you captained. Probably just stuck it on Mateta. But listen, lads. That's all for today. That's my stream done. Yeah, we've gone for the Mateta last minute captaincy, so we will see how that works out for me. And yeah, good luck to everyone this weekend. Let's fingers crossed that Mateta captain ends well for us. If not, all is good. All is good. We're only having a bit of fun here. So yeah, good luck to everyone, guys, and have a good weekend. Till next time, guys.